Hey, it's Matt with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and I couldn't get my recording going in time. This thing triggered really fast, but I went long. You see this? You see we got this move off the bar. I went along one tick above this bar right here with 5 contracts. I scalped out with 3 at one point. Um, it happened so fast I didn't even get to use a strategy. So this is a manual trade. So I want to move my stop to break even now. And I'm going to try to scalp out somewhere up here near these previous highs on my runners. So I got 2 runners going now. I scalped out with 3 at one point. So I've made $150 on those 3, and we'll see if we can make a little more on the runners here. And I may move this. What I want to do is exit somewhere up here when we hit the high side of this channel here. And it was kind of hard to find these channel lines, but I drew them across the top and drug it down, and it tends to fit. And but the trend is up. As you notice, we're making higher highs and higher lows each time, and hopefully we'll go on and make another higher high here. I may get stopped out on my runners, but if so, we'll just look for another entry at some point. But I'm tempted to give this a little room, but I don't want to give back my money either, so we'll see what happens here. I just can't seem to get a runner because there was a entry right here as well. I almost got stopped out on it, but I ended up getting my scalp, but then it came back and got the runner. And so I tried to enter again here, and now we got a little doji right there overlapping. So we'll see what that does. But this was a great trade right here, right at the open. This one, the runner, they came back and got the runner on it as well, but I scalped out on this one. So I wanted to record this one, but it was right at the open, right when I was getting into the office. I just didn't have time, and I barely even got this one going. We missed part of the trade. But both of them set up really quickly and took off. So yeah, this one's probably not going to go anywhere either. Yeah, we got stopped out. I got to cancel that since I don't have my. But we may get a chance to enter. We may have a trap here now, and we may go higher. Just see how it sets up. But I wanted to demonstrate a trade. I've been trying the last couple of days, and I just can't seem to, the best trades are happening early in the morning, and I can't seem to get everything set up in time to get a good recording going. And this was a pretty good move here. I wish I could have got this one going because we were able to get the runners and ride them all the way to the top of the range. But this thing happened so fast that I said, well, I'll wait on the next one. And then the next one, same thing happened. Every time I get one go, I try to get it going. It's just happened too quick. And now most of the good move is over. It doesn't mean we won't get some more good setups with some more good moves. But I'm not going to be around here very long. I'm going to be done by 10 o'clock today, my time, and it's 9:30 now. So I thought I'd go ahead and start the recorder on this one and show you what I could on it. And, you don't always get a runner. We know that, but you can't pick and choose on the runners because you never know when you'll get one and when you won't get one. So if you try to pick and choose, you'll never catch one. So especially when you're entering these trades off of the key entry points, and remember what the key entry points are. They're always the support and the resistance, and that can be flat support and resistance, a flat line in like a trading range, or it can be angled. And all this is a support line, and this is a resistance line, and they're just angled. And you got to pay attention to them, and because look where all your good setups come from. They come off of these lines. Look what happens in the middle. It gets choppy in the middle, and you can see that right there. And this trade was one kind of taken in the middle, but it's still on the very low side, and we're coming off the low. So our hope is that we're going back to test the high. We're probably going to try to test these highs from yesterday, and you see it going higher. And I probably should have given this trade another tick or two. But since I'm not going to be trading very long this morning, I just didn't want to give back what I had. Haven't traded much over the holiday, so needed to make some money myself. And that's the way we do it, though. We use the scalp and run because I believe it's the best of both worlds. because we're pretty accurate at picking where prices are going the short term. It's where they're going in the longer term that's harder to do. And by using what I call scalp and run, and for anybody that's new or this is the first video, let me explain what that is. We'll go in with a minimum of 2 contracts. In this case, I went in with 5, and I scalped out with 3 of them, and then I moved my stop to break even on the other 2, or if you're just using 2, you'll scalp out of one of them. We always scalp out at 4 ticks. That's the standard scalp, and you see this thing we're trying to hit higher again. But that's the standard scalp in the ES is 4 ticks. And then we move our stop to break even, and we hope, like this trade right here, prices keep going. And but if they don't, we don't give back the money we've already made. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And I call it scalp and run. It's just a combination of scalping and we're scalping out and also trying to get a swing trade going as well. And you don't have to always move your stop to break even. You can actually, there's several ways to manage the trade. You can move your stop to break even. You can move your stop to break even +1, because on the best trades, they're going to keep going. Like this one, it wouldn't have mattered if you move your stop to break even +2. You still would have made it, and it would have survived, and you could have ridden this all the way up. And the best trades tend to do that. But what you can do, and what some people do, is they use those first couple of contracts scalp to give them room. They may move their stop to break even for the entire trade, and that way you can't lose. So if prices reverse and they don't continue higher, if you're trying to catch a trend or whatever, that's the best way to do that sometimes, is to use the profits you make on the scalp to give to make the trade a break even while still giving yourself some room. So in other words, let me explain. Let's say we entered 1 tick above right here. So we enter at, let's just say we enter at 14.55 with 5 contracts, and we scalp out at 14.56 on 3 of them. Well, that gives us 3 points that we can use for our stop down here, and we only got 2 contracts left. So we can move our stop way down here to maybe 14.52, and just in case prices pull back, and run the stops a few times before it takes off. So it just allows you to get a bigger swing going without any risk. In other words, so how many times, think about how many times have you entered the trade, say, let's go back over in here. Let's just say you entered in here, which is not a good setup here. This is hypothetical. And you watch prices go all the way to here, and you got 4 or 5 points locked in, and then suddenly it reverses. It comes down, and you're hanging on trying to catch a good trend, and then suddenly it's going the other way, and you're stopped out, and you watch 4 or 5 points turn into nothing, a loss. I'm sure that's happened to you. If you've been trading any point of time, I imagine that's a common story for you. So that's why we like this scalp and run, because it eliminates that. And I mean, you can make a living scalping, but the real money's made when you can catch a good move and ride it on out. And you can see right here, this is a good example. If I hadn't have used the scalp and run, this trade that made me $150 would be against me right now. It may still go higher, but you never know. This might be the end of the trend, and this may be just going to end up being a range, and we may be back down here in a little bit. So, that's why I like to use the scalp and run, because I made $150 on that trade no matter what happened after I scalped out. And you can see right now this trade, since my entry was at 14.57, this trade would be against me almost a point now after I had as much as a couple of points in profit in it. So that's the beauty of using the scalp and run. It works, and it keeps us on the right side of the trade with a lot less risk, in other words. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. This is going to be it for today, because I'm leaving out of here about 10 o'clock. I'm going to take one last trip, long 3-day trip, and then we'll come back next week, and we'll get back to full-time trading next week. And so hope everybody's having a great new year. Hope your trading is going well. just remember the key to making it in this business is experience and study time. Use the strategies that we teach. Study your chart at the end of each day. I had somebody actually sent me an email yesterday, and I replied back to them, so hopefully that reply made sense. But they were asking me to just start at the right side each day and show and go through that and just show you how I'm reading the price action and what I'm thinking. And that's a great idea, and that really is a good way to do it. And here's that setup early this morning. You can see that right there. Notice that we came right off. We drew our trend line up here, and we drug it down. You know, at this point, you can see that we're not sure if that's it or not. But when you get a reversal bar like that right there, you got to enter one tick above that. And you might even drop your limit order back in here a little bit. But sometimes you'll miss the best trades. But the best ones are going to set up off this line and the shorts off this line. And then look at that thing go, and it's still going. Continues to go. Look at it. Just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. There's no reason not to ride that all the way up, and then you would have had your exit order. What I'll try to do is start keeping mine one tick in front of that line, and if you'd had your stop right there, your your limit order, your exit limit order, it would have ticked right up, put you in the exited the trade with a profit. And then look, it sails right off, right where you would expect it to turn, right off that line up there. And then there it comes down, and then guess what? It bounces. There's a nice entry right there. You take it, and then there's a second entry long. That's the really good one, and it's off to the races. And no runners on this one. And you see we've kind of gotten into some chop, and we're coming back. And look what we're doing. We're trying to set up right off that trend line again. But now we got a higher high and a higher, we got a lower high here, but I still, if you get a setup off this trend line, you're probably going to want to take it. But I'm going to wrap it up. I'm done for the day. I'm going to be out of here in the next 15 or 20 minutes, and hopefully all that makes sense to you. We'll get back at it full time next week. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.